Hey guys, Tannis here. After doing the bows only run of Nightreign a while back, we felt as if we could have done better. The overall feel of the run was something we thought could have been improved on, and so today, we're back for more, with something different. You see, with the bows only run, we didn't have enough damage output and strategy to get a satisfying enough run, so me and Oni decided to hop back in the game and change to actual weapons with a limit on them. And with Nightreign coming out in 10 days, we figured that now's the perfect time to try something different. Now, a quick disclaimer. I know what you might be thinking. The game's not even out yet. How do you have a copy 10 days early? And the answer to that is, I don't. People always say good things come to those who wait, and in my case, that's this beta footage I've been sitting on for a few months because I was lazy. You see, when we did bows only, we didn't actually run out of time for the challenge. We made an executive decision to put a pause on attempting that run until Nightreign officially came out. And so, with 1 hour left on the Nightreign's beta, the only thing on our minds is, can we beat EldenRing Nightreign with only one weapon type? For this run, we only have one rule. No dealing damage unless it's with the weapon type you choose or your character's skills. I feel as if the first part of that is obvious because, obviously, but just like the bows only video, it wouldn't be fair to completely disregard the fun new mechanic that is character skills because we wanted to be strict about damage types. And with that out of the way, let's get into the run. Like last time, I went with the Recluse, a powerful mage with the ability to take certain elemental damage types dealt to friends and foes alike and dish them back out for massive damage. Oni also stayed with playing the Wilder class, who specializes in high-speed movement, utilizing his grappling hook to close the distance to his enemies and making use of his arm cannon to deal big damage to whatever's in front of him. Unfortunately, we got matched with a random because Clank and Jordan were doing their own duo run at the time, so we had to pray to the gods that they would join in on the hijinks. Said random, however, went the Duchess, an agile fighter with the ability to take whatever damage was done to enemies within the last 2 seconds and reapply it to them. Before this run began, the weapon I decided to go with was the staff because I'm a mage. In hindsight, I probably should have gone with an actual weapon, but hey, try telling that to me 3 months ago. Oni decided on using the great axe, and the random, I think, went with spears. And with that out of the way, let's actually get into the run. We spawned near the 3 flame chariots, and Oni got straight to looking for an axe, while I explained the challenge we were doing to our teammate. Sadly, Oni didn't find a weapon in the flame chariot camp, so he went looking elsewhere. Our teammate was already going towards the magic tower, so he decided to look there next. Using a spirit spring, I jumped onto the roof and I collected some more staffs to add to my collection before fighting the Crystallian, and Bro got disappointed by finding the Royal Knight's greatsword. I got the Rotten Crystal staff with Shattering Crystal and Rock Slaying, and went inside the building to look for great axes for Oni, and found a greatsword with the Ash of War Lion's Claw, which Oni always fiends for. After leaving the magic tower, we used the Spectral Hawk to go to the Blood Ruins nearby, and I got a gnarly vantage point to shoot the Sanguinary Noble with Rock Slaying, and did a surprising amount of damage. After easily beating him, I picked up the stamina increase, and Oni got a poise boost. We then made our way to the castle at the center of the map, in which Bro did an insane maneuver to skip most of the enemies, and finally got a great axe. We then started jumping the giant mini-boss that was guarding the bridge when our random died. It's no problem though, because we still beat the giant. Oni got an upgrade that made him do more poise damage, while I got a staff that allows me to do the meteorite spell along with Stars of Ruin. We then jumped up the bridge to fight the Lion Guardian and saw the random kill it before we even got there. And Oni selected the Affinity Negation passive that makes him take 15% less damage from elemental attacks, while I chose a staff that has gravity well, but more importantly, Ronnie's Dark Moon. Now if you watch the videos me and Oni made on the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, you'll know that I love Ronnie's Dark Moon. It was my bread and butter for almost every situation, so it was a must for this run. We then went into the basement and jumped to Misbegotten, to which Oni got HP up and I got more runes per kill. Also, I just want to comment on how cool it looks running out of the castle while circle's closing in, because I wasn't really paying attention to that when we were doing the run. While running in a circle, Bro picked up a Pearl Drake Talisman +1 from a Scarab he killed and started fighting a Golden Hippopotamus, which is kind of funny because I was also fighting one of those. There were 2 different ones. We were both in Storm, but thankfully, because I was using magic, I dispatched my Hippo fast and got an extra 15% physical damage negation. I then tried to help Oni out with his Hippo, but then we both died and got thrust into the Demon Centipede fight. I started the fight out using my Magma spells to take care of the hand spiders and then focused on keeping my distance before one of the little hand centipedes popped off and started going after me. I quickly killed it, and with our combined might, we slew the first big hurdle of the run. For our troubles, I got a passive that gives me more iframes when dodging, and Oni got a passive that made him summon a cloud of darkness whenever he walks. Once it became daytime, we immediately went to murder the golden hippopotamus that ended us the night before, and I grabbed a crystal staff with crystal burst on it, while Oni got a 20% boost to his flasks. Directly after that, we immediately opened an Evergel that contained a Crucible Knight in it, which we immediately obliterated. We then went to jump Loretta, and I learned that Stars of Darkness is actually kinda goated in this game. I got the passive that doesn't work ever, and Oni got a passive that gives him health on successive attacks. We then met our way to another Evergel, which held a Gothian Noble in its depths. But with the power of friendship and spamming Stars of Darkness, we beat him in no time flat. And that kill gave us just enough runes to level up to level 13, which means if we had any legendary armaments on us, which we probably didn't, we would have mastered them. We made our way to a nearby abandoned church and saw a guardian golem that was trying to run the fate, so I blinked him out of existence with a meteorite before he even had the chance. Oni couldn't grab anything that fit his build, but I got a... Wait a minute, does that come to there? Okay, so I have 2 health bar shredders, and now I'm kind of regretting choosing the staffs for this run, but hey, that's something to keep in mind for next time. Before the final boss of the night, we went out on the waters and saw a golden hippopotamus minding his own business, and that cannot stand while we're around, so we brutally murdered him for loot. Said loot in question was a passive that raised my FP by 10% and a 6% increase to physical damage for Oni. There was still time before Circle closed in, so we made our way to a night camp and aired the place out to get a 15% increase to physical damage negation and another 20% increase to flask healing. We then saw by how Circle was closing that the second to last boss was going to be Morgott, the Omen King. But while Storm is shrinking, I have to say that the random we were playing with did not in fact stick with one weapon type, and that does slightly invalidate the run. Just know the next time we do something like this, it should hopefully just be either me and Oni or an actual trio. Were we? Oh yeah, Morgott spawned in. The fight started out with 2 normal Omens spawning in and getting eviscerated by the squad before the big man himself spawned in. He immediately threw a spear at me, which got rid of half of my health bar, but it was no big deal due to the fact that Oni point blank casted his ultimate ability, which poise broke him. Oni immediately hit Morgott with a repost while I started stabbing him with Carrion Slicer, and our random, suddenly deciding they wanted to use spears, used Moog Spear's Ash of War. After Morgott stood back up, I blasted him with a Comet Azure, and he targeted me with his Blood Judgment Cuts, even though I was behind him. We got him into second phase, and he was still bloodthirsty for me, so I mainly focused on running away while the others attacked him. After Morgott did a dash slash and I slipped past it, I casted a Dark Moon that inflicted Frostbite on him and also poise broke him. After a repost, Morgott knocked down our random and went after Oni, so I quickly revived their Duchess. I was out of FP and didn't want to waste my skills on a boss missing most of his health, and so Oni and Duchess finished him off. I got a passive that extended spell effect 30% longer, and Oni got the passive that does literally nothing. Going into the final area, we got to level 15, and with my remaining runes, I got us 2 uplifting aromatics, which boosts our damage and reduces 1 hit we take. Not seeing much point in dragging this any longer, we decided to just go in and see if we can beat this boss. When we got into the arena, our Duchess gave us buffs using the items they bought, and we charged for it. I started the fight out with a Dark Moon to give Gladius a 20% debuff to magic negation and open fire with Stars of Darkness. Gladius tried to get some distance from me, but that only allowed me to hit him with another Dark Moon, which inflicted Frostbite on him, giving him an additional 10% debuff to physical damage negation. I then accidentally flasked twice in a row when I tried to buff myself, meaning I'm all out of heals. Ignoring that for a second, I used my full magic charge I had stored up earlier to give me infinite FP for 5 seconds, to which I used a Comet Azure while Gladius was split. At this point, I was completely out of FP, so I had to rely on the elemental damage Oni and Duchess were dishing out so I could use my spells again. Thankfully, I have competent teammates, so I didn't have to wait long. I jumped back into the fray with another Dark Moon and attempted to hit Gladius with a Meteor, but he refused and hit me out of it, meaning I was once again low on magic. I forgot, however, that I had Starlight Shards on me, which allowed me to fully restore my FP, and I started the Dark Moon turret back up once more. I was thinking on whether or not I should use Comet Azure, but figured since I still had 2 more shards on me, why not, and started blasting. Gladius, however, wanted none of that and split again, meaning it was time for some more Dark Moon. I don't know where the other 2 heads went, but me and Oni saw one sitting all alone, and did an all-out attack of spells and slashes that ended this night for good. And that answers the question of, can you beat EldenRing Nightreign with only one weapon type? With a yes. Now a few things before I go. 1, yes, I know our random wasn't using one weapon type. We kinda couldn't control that, so we just had to roll with it. 2, when Nightreign actually comes out, we might revisit this idea, but I'm most likely not going to be using a staff due to its versatility and how many spells I can use with it. And 3, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and come back when we do runs on Nightreign when it officially comes out. This game is really fun, and I had a blast recording this challenge. And with all the classes that are being revealed, there's so much to look forward to for a full release. Okay, now go do something else with your time. Or like rewatch the video, I'm not going to complain.